Tonight, Kenyan police officers evicted over rent arrears. Then, Gabon beats Kenya 2-1, even as MP Selassie is beaten many to 1. And finally, Treasury allocates 3 billion for public participation. This is the NAKALA report. Welcome, folks. Welcome to the NAKALA report. I'm your host, NAKALA. Now, folks, if you live in Kenya or you are trying to leave Kenya to maybe, God forbid, no, not Vietnam, then you must have already known that economically things are not okay in this country. Not okay. That's right, folks. If you thought that things were just bad, then think again, because things could even get badder. Is there such a word like badder? Well, we'll use it anyway. Now, look, I don't mean to scare anybody, okay? And if anything, I know that most of you are already scared anyway. Anyway, things are so bad that even yours truly here has been forced to abandon his daily ritual, that is, eating mutura by the roadside. Oh, I really miss that. And who can help me describe this situation at hand in Kenya other than one and only one, Donald J. Trump?
People like me from previous months, okay? Total control. Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing. You know what that is, right?
Well, I don't know what that is. All that I know is that bing, bing, bong, bong, in this economy doesn't sound like a very good thing to me. Yeah, bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bong, bong, bing. Anyway, so I know what most of you could be saying. That's Donald Trump all the way in America. The situation is hitting closer home and where it really matters. And not just that, it is hitting where it hurts the most. Jimmy?
Residents of Riandira, Mwea West constituency are a worried lot after the area police station was dramatically shut down and police officers manning the station relocated over a 2 million shillings rental arrears.
Monday morning, a police truck pulls up at Riandira police station in Mwea East, Kirinyaga County to relocate police officers who were manning the station. Locals watched in disbelief, uncertain of their security. The eviction follows a rent dispute between the property owners and the tenant, the National Police Service.
Okay. Okay. I'm still trying to take that in. I mean, let that sink in, folks, okay? Let that sink in. And if it has refused to sink in, let me help you out. So come on. Now, here is the situation in black and white, or maybe let me just do it in very colorful colors. Ready? A police station which falls under the executive arm of government is being evicted from its premises. And guess what? They're not being evicted because of hosting wild parties every weekend, or for coming home loud and drunk at 3 a.m., or for refusing to take their trash out. No. They are actually being evicted for failing to pay rent. Sounds familiar? I guess, for some of us. But for a government, this is... Excuse me. Let me try that again. For a government, this is... Wacha tuachane na hiyo story. Anyway, we are not just talking about some small money here. We are talking about a whooping 2 million Kenyan shillings. But you and I are both aware and very familiar with this one famous police saying, which is, we shall leave no stones unturned. And sure enough, they did not disappoint. Yep. You see, they did not just leave the station, they also cleverly tried to unturn all the stones about this story. Jimmy?
However, police spokesman through a statement indicated that the National Police Service did not see the need for continued stay of those officers at Riandira Police Post, so the officers were redeployed, and that there had been no formal arrangement for rent. There's a nearby police post which is serving residents well.
Yes, you heard that one right, folks. They did not just see the need, or they did not see the need for continued stay of those police officers at Riandara Police Post, so the officers were redeployed. Yeah, redeployed. Yeah, and also there had been no formal arrangement for rent. And finally, there is a nearby police post which is serving residents well. That's their kind of story. Yeah. Now, folks, listen. There's a big take-home lesson from this story, and you never know when you may need it. So, next time you fail to pay your rent, and then it happens that your house gets locked or you are evicted, just say this, okay? Just say this. I did not see the need for my continued stay at my landlord's place, okay? So, I am redeploying myself. Then, to make it very believable, by adding this, there was no formal arrangement between me and my landlord. To save your face and contain the embarrassing situation, add this. My mom told me that if things got bad, I could still go back home to her. And here's a zinger. Don't forget to finish by saying, she will serve me well. Done, problem solved, and all stones are turned. That's like the officer said. But the police at Riandara Police Station were not the only ones facing hard times. Yeah? Their colleagues at a location I don't want to mention for obvious reasons were secretly filmed doing this. That is not a doctored clip. No, that's a real footage of a police officer selling cabbages to local residents in a bid to cope up with tough economic times. So, if times are hard on you, don't worry. Times are hard on officers too, yeah? Which means one thing and one thing only. For almost everybody, this economy is
bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing.
Thank you for watching. Stay tuned when we come back, our monologue. Let's get or dive right into it. And Mumias East MP, Mr. Peter Salasia, found himself in uncharted territory when he attended the football match game at Nyayo Stadium. Yeah, this was during the Sunday match when Harambee Stars was playing Gabon for the African Qualifying Cup. And Mr. Salasia was roughed up by some of the attendants of the game, and his main crime was that previously, during his podcast or on TikTok, Mr. Salasia registered his disgruntlement with the ODM leader Raila Odinga, working closely with President William Ruto. In fact, Salasia gave warnings, verbal warnings, to Mr. Raila Odinga, saying that his time is over and he should concentrate on some other things, and therefore Mr. Raila should not give directions to Kenyans. And when he attended the match, where also Raila attended and President Ruto also attended, part of the crowd became irritated, therefore roughing him up. In fact, the MP got some injuries and was somehow bruised. Nick, A football match is supposed to be where people make peace, where we come together despite our background. And now we watched that. It was a very unfortunate event, but to be fair, this is not the first time that such a thing is happening. If you jog back the memory, or if you jog your memory right, you'll notice that our current president, President William Ruto, was chased in Kisii some time back. In fact, he had a torn trouser somewhere here. The same thing happened with the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga when he was in Nyeri, and he wanted to go to an hotel, and he was heckled and chased away. The same thing happened with Mr. Morara Kebaso at Bomas, yeah? So, is this an isolated case, or are we just getting violent in our politics now?
Well, let's not start from politics, Nick. I'll start from football first. Let me commend the national team for I call it a stellar performance. Why? Because we're playing against stars, and we've not played in our country for so long, since 2020. And as a spectator, Honorable Salasia went there as a spectator.
Yes.
Not as a politician.
No.
And his previous sentiments caused all this. And you know, he in himself could have seated with the VIP, at the VIP space. He had his space there. Whether he paid thousands or not, he had his space there as a VIP. Why could he go and sit where hungries are? But they Russia cinema hungry. That's where he went to sit. And his previous sentiments cost him that. And for your information, Nick, Raila Odinga, the former PM, has been at battles with big politicians, whereby he has maintained his status as one supreme leader, as a politician.
Yes.
And whereby if you just go and joke about him, where his people are, his laws are, definitely will face a wrath.
And moving on, and still on politics, President William Ruto planned visit to Mount Kenya region is facing some uncertainty. This is especially due to perceived hostility towards the president in the mountain region. This actually is as a result of the impeachment of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, in which the president is believed to have played a vital role. And the president has a different opinions. There are some advisors who are advising him to go on. There are some who are telling him to cool his heels. Now, this came even as developments that the president had met the area MPs from Mount Kenya region and the governors, with some apparently skipping the program, e.g. Mutahi Kahiga of Nyeri County. Nick, president aende Mount Kenya ama asiende? Na mulima imekuwa telezi ama namna gani bwana?
Well, in my opinion, the president is supposed to travel to Mount Kenya. Why? Because Mount Kenya is still in Kenya. That's one. Two,
Definitely.
Two, Mount Kenya overwhelmingly voted for him in the last elections. So actually, in my own way of thinking, Mount Kenya placed him where he is today.
Of course.
So he has to be welcomed well there. Much as there have been hiccups around here and there are sacking of some other CSs from his cabinet. Just lately, CS Muturi from the public service. So he has to go there. Whichever way, whichever the manner in which they will welcome him, he has to go there.
I know, but he's supposed to be out there mingling with the
visit, and he comes back to Nairobi. We will welcome him. This is where State House is. We will welcome him always.
Anyway, we always welcome him. In fact, the president should be welcomed everywhere in the country, regardless of whether they voted for him or not, or whether they support him or not. So we wish the president all the best as he tries or molds his Mount Kenya tour. So stay tuned. When you come back, our thank you note. Welcome back, folks, and welcome to your thank you notes. As always, we don't like ending the show without thanking a few people, a few things, or a few instances. So, Nick, this week we must thank a few people. Sindio, how should we start with?
Well, let's thank the president first. Well, I might commend him. He
appointment
knows where the wrongs are. He knows when to make them right.
All
Thanking him for reappointing Duale for
All right.
another.
For reorganizing his government.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Let's thank the president. Thank you, President William Ruto, for reorganizing your government, which you say is for effectiveness and efficiency. We wish you the best. Nick, hasa hii government, president amefanya mix and match, ama is it inclusive, broad-based? Amefanya broad-based.
Ndio tunabadilisha majina kulingana vile tunataka. Yeah.
But as things change, the more the things change, the more they remain the same.
No, somebody has quoted that the president loves the blue-eyed guys. And in Duale there is one.
The Duale.
Yeah. So I've seen Duale being taken to health.
Health, yes.
There is a problem in the health sector, of which it needs a serious expert in that sector. The share thing has not worked, and it's sad. I call it a failure. Will Duale make it?
Maybe.
Because whoever that was in the environment sector has been brought back to the environment sector.
And Duale was initially in defense, then environment,
then now in the health sector.
so
So I do not know. Well, but let's thank the president. I think he's seeing the incompetence of his staff and say, okay, I can't fire you, I can place you somewhere else.
But Nick, a country that is over 50 something million people, if somebody is incompetent, could the president vouch or source for another person? Example given, yesterday or the other day, when the president was attending the iftar at State House, the president actually said that the former Attorney General, Mr. J.B. Muturi, was incompetent. So from being incompetent as AG, he was appointed CS Public Service. Apo, does it really make sense?
Gifting loyals. Gifting loyals and sycophants. Let me put it that way. That's what he was doing. And later he realized that now Mr. Muturi has now become unloyal to him.
So
hence given the door.
Because even some of the CSs that were fired, remember during the last year June, yeah?
But those have been brought back to work.
Yeah, and some that are not being brought back to the ministries have been given, like Nancy Baraza.
Yes.
She's now an ambassador somewhere. Nahumicha. There
are so many.
So, if in fact, and let me just take you back a little bit. I think during one of the signing of performance contracts for the CSS, the president actually said that most of these people are incompetent. In fact, he said that he knows much about their ministries than themselves. So if he knows that they are incompetent, why recycle? Mbona sitafute watu?
Si nimekwambia anajaribu kurudisha mkono. The likes of Aisha Jumwa, who cannot make a sentence in English for a minute. And I'm saying the truth.
Are you sure, Nick?
Have you ever had an audience so far?
No, but
have you ever been on the same
table? I think she's
table?
comfortable in Kiswahili. That doesn't mean that she doesn't know.
Yes, exactly. Now, okay. Let's assume she's given a foreign affairs docket.
Anapelekwa TZ ambassador.
Oh God. Oh God forbid.
Anyway, thank you, Mr. President, for doing reorganization in your government, and we hope that your changes or the changes are timely and they are towards making effectiveness and service delivery to the people of Kenya. Nick, we thank somebody else. Who do you think we should thank next?
Treasury. We support having a budget.
All right, so let's thank the Treasury here. All right. Thank you, the Treasury, for allocating 3 billion shillings towards public participation in 13 counties for the 2025-2026 budget, which is 4.1 or 4.3 trillion.
Trillion, yeah.
Nick, tumeona hapo hivyo mbeleni maaskari wameshindwa kulipa rent ya 2 million.
Yeah.
That's the government. And now you tell me, how do you do a public participation worth 3 billion? Utakuwa nazungumza na watu kwa space ama and it's only in 13 counties.
You know,
Kenya has 47 counties.
Something I'm surprised about is that 13 billion divided by
3
3 billion divided by 13. If you can divide that amount, let me hope that every county will be taking home around 500 and something million shillings. And truth to my words, none of those people will be met. I think per county, less than 3,000 people will be attended to. Yeah, and we've done research and we know if you go for survey, we take less than a quarter of the number of the area we're taking survey.
You take
less than a quarter.
You can't do it for everybody.
So per sitting, let me hope that those commissioners will be responsible for the same will be taking home around 250,000 per head or 80,000 per each.
But then again, Nick,
Per sitting.
I know the government is saying that
How do you steal 3 billion when you want to a budget of 4.3 billion, 4.33 trillion? That's stealing. Nick, I'll tell you, I'll always be
no,
on book.
but to be fair to the government, public participation is a vital thing. In fact, in the constitution,
Okay. How many, those 13 counties, can you name them?
I don't even know which one they are. I don't know which one they are.
13 counties are just less than, not even half. It's less than half of the 47 counties.
But talk about misplaced priorities, yeah? Just the other day, the Minister of Education said that they couldn't give more money for what do you call it? The capacitation. The Ministry of Health is facing challenges. Unaona hiyo polisi wako na hiyo shida.
Na polisi haina pesa na kuna mwingine amejijengea yake wanafunga yake.
Exactly.
Wangepeana hiyo polisi ifanye kazi hii nyingine yenye ilipi rent ifungwe.
And then 3 billion towards public participation. Again, remember just recently there was 500 million which was given for the Emmys.
Yeah.
Sasa, are we really serious? Do we have money or we don't? If we can be able
But
to.
we have money. Who said we don't have money? Kenya has money.
Anyway.
But okay, true to my words, 3 billion, 13 counties, hiyo pesa inafaa iwe imetafutwa ilitoka wapi kwanza, ama hiyo pesa inaombwa wapi? We should ask Mbadi that, by the way.
Anyway, so thank you, the Treasury. While public participation is important in the current constitutional dispensation, 3 billion is a bit. Anyway, thank you, Treasury, because we need public participation for allocating 3 billion for public participation. Watakuwa nalala kwa ghorofa ya.
Mimi nashindwa watakuwa nalala wapi. Wapeleke Hilton Hotel kwa hizo nini zote. Wao wakilala huko.
Anyway, so thank you for watching. Please stay tuned to catch up with NAKALA Report every Friday at 8:30 p.m. only on Lookup TV. Thank you, good night, and good luck. Yep.